खुशी बनती है खबर। कभी किसी की पथराई आंखों में उम्मीदों की किरण बनती है खबर। कभी बच्चे की मासूमियत तो कभी लजाती आंखें बनती है खबर। खबरें होती हैं परत दर परत खबर। खबर से बेखबर होना है एक खबर। खबर हर कहीं है जहां तक है आपकी नजर।
हिंदू इस्लाम ख्रिस्टियान बौद्ध जैन वैष्णव সকলো ধৰ্মৰ প্ৰকৃত ধৰ্মালোচনা আৰু বিভিন্ন আধ্যাত্মিক গুৰুৰ সৈতে পোনপটীয়া বাৰ্তালাপ ধৰ্ম চিন্তা এক ব্যতিক্ৰমী অনুষ্ঠান একমাত্ৰ ফ্ৰণ্টিয়াৰ টিভি।
The Midnight News Curry is brought to you by ASSAM, your world of possibilities. Topsim, Mazbooti ka bharosa, Hamesha. Fale Agro, refreshing India. And Home Decor.
Good evening and welcome to Frontier TV. I'm Priyanki here with the Midnight News Curry. And before we begin, here's a quick look at the headlines.
The headlines are brought to you by Airtel.
Akhil Gogoi arrives in Besimari in show of support, declares skilled farmers as martyrs. Amsu Band brings life to halt after bloody farmers' riot in Besimari. Home Secretary and Siddiq Ahmed reaches Merapani, orders Naga police to leave area within 2 days. Himanta Biswa Sharma warns Nagaland against incursion into Assam land. Kondapan's remains brought back to Guwahati. Congress leaders pay tribute to the Assam MP at Rajiv Bhavan. Businessman Sanjay Bosak murdered, police yet to apprehend miscreants. Guwahati turns into heaven of illegal arms, worry over sporadic murders in city. Arunachal tents, 1 dead, 30 injured, demand for oust of Jarbom gambling intensifies. Helicopter accident in Tawang, Arunachal MP and State Congress asks PM for CBI inquiry. Complaints filed against 3 Telangana leaders for derogatory remarks, 3-day rail blockade by Telangana activists from tomorrow. Important BNC meet today, call to Hagrama Mohilari to withdraw his resignation. And Lal Krishna Advani begins Jan Chetna Rath Yatra from today, begins from Bihar. And now we come to the news in detail. After the bloody clash that broke out in Besimari in Mongol Doi between the farmers and the police that left 5 farmers dead, Akhil Gogoi on Tuesday arrived at Besimari in a show of support to them. The mob clash between the police and educating farmers on Monday in Besimari market in Mongol Doi left a bloody mess in the region when farmers had gathered in protest demanding an adequate price for the production of jute. The protest saw the swooping down of police officials and the resorting to lathi charge, tear gassing and blank firing to bring the situation under control. And this has left 5 farmers dead and 20 seriously injured, including policemen. This farmers' riot and the subsequent attack of the police on them has earned widespread attention, causing aware sections of the entire nation to slam the police action. And on getting the news about this unfortunate incident, Krishak Mukti Sangram Samiti leader Akhil Gogoi reached Besimari to show his support for the farmers' cause. The Mongol Doi police, however, stalled him for a long time at the police station, though that did not seem to break Akhil's spirit, as a large number of farmers welcomed Akhil with much gusto, and thus giving a blind eye to the Section 144 which is imposed on the area. Akhil arrived at the site of the incident to give a thundering speech to the farmers of Besimari. Akhil was firm in his demands that the government should announce a compensation of 10 lakhs to the family of the dead and 7 lakhs to the injured. Meanwhile, the Krishak Mukti Sangram Committee announced the farmers who died in the police action on Monday as martyrs. He also said that the party will hold a protest rally against the police action on Wednesday.
আমি কৃষক মুক্তি সংগ্ৰাম সমিতিয়ে অসমৰ আটাইতকৈ অগ্ৰণী কৃষক সংগঠন আৰু জাতীয় সংগঠন কৃষক মুক্তি সংগ্ৰাম সমিতিয়ে আমি এই চাৰিজন মৃতককে শহীদ বুলি ঘোষণা কৰিছো। তেখেতসকল কেৱল বেছিমাৰী মানুহৰ কাৰণে শহীদ নহয়, তেখেতসকল কেৱল মংগলদৈ কাৰণে শহীদ নহয়, তেখেতসকল অসমৰ সকলো নিপীড়িত সকলো খেতিয়ক ৰাইজৰ কাৰণে আজিৰ দিনটোৰ পৰা শহীদ হিচাপে ঘোষিত হৈছে।
Akhil further lambasted the skyrocketing price rise in the state, which has led to the death of 5 farmers who have stood up in protest. And to add to that, the police action has also come under sharp censure from various quarters that this incident is going to play an important factor in the assessment of the people of Assam in the governance of Congress. Added to the land swap deal as well as the border troubles in Marapani is something quite evident. With inputs from Debabrata Goswami from Darang, News Desk, Frontier TV. Meanwhile, the situation in Marapani continues to remain tense. Border Development Minister Siddiq Ahmed visited the trouble-torn area on Tuesday and assured that the government will immediately take up the matter with the Nagaland counterpart.
The continuing encroachment by the residents of Nagaland in Marapani of GUWAHATI district in Assam has forced the people to protest government's lackadaisical attitude. Various civil organizations have been protesting the move of Naga residents to encroach Marapani and its neighboring area. The locals are outraged with Naga threats asking to quit the village or face dire consequences. The indigenous community in Assam has said that they will not part away from a single inch of land and will fight to protect their land and identity. They say in unison, "We will shed blood but not our land." The continuing tension situation forced the Home Secretary G.D. Tripathi to visit the area on Tuesday. The Home Secretary has informed that the department will take up the matter with the Ministry of Home Affairs immediately.
Assam Police Force নিয়োগ কৰা হৈছিল আগষ্ট মাহত। তাৰপিছত 12 ছেপ্টেম্বৰ তেওঁলোকে ডেডলাইন দিছে, ইয়াৰ ভিতৰত অসম ফ'ৰ্চ যি আছিলে সেইটো ইয়াৰ পৰা গ'ল আৰু NAP কেম্প উঠি যোৱা নাই, সেইটো আমি টেক আপ কৰিছোঁ, গভৰ্ণমেণ্ট অফ ইণ্ডিয়াৰ লগত টেক আপ কৰিছোঁ, নাগালেণ্ড গভৰ্ণমেণ্ট লগত টেক আপ কৰিছোঁ আৰু আমি আশা ৰাখিছোঁ কি এইটো সোনকালে নিশ্চয় ইয়াতে নিৰ্ণয় হ'ব আৰু এইটো কেম্প চকুত সেইটো দৃষ্টি আকৰ্ষণ কৰা হৈছে আৰু সেইটো নিশ্চয় আমি নাগালেণ্ড গভৰ্ণমেণ্ট লগতো টেক আপ কৰিম। কিন্তু ইয়াতে আমাৰ যি স্থানীয় প্ৰশাসন আছে তেওঁলোকে আইনমতে ব্যৱস্থা গ্ৰহণ কৰিব।
Assam's effort to get back encroached territory have often led to serious law and order problems, which has been continuing till date. The residents of Marapani in GUWAHATI district of Assam has come up with allegations that a large area under the village is being encroached by the neighboring Nagaland village. The encroachment has been so alarming that it is threatening the indigenous Assamese community. The area is not manned by any Assam police, which has created fear among the locals in Marapani. Border Development Minister Siddiq Ahmed, in his visit to the trouble-torn area, said that the government will ensure that the Naga police outpost will be immediately removed from the area and the government of Assam will take up the matter with Nagaland counterpart. His visit, however, was marked with protests as locals put up black flags.
Actually, to 16 মাহৰ 16 তাৰিখৰ পৰা এইটো কেম্প কৰিছে। তাৰপিছত নিউট্ৰেল ফ'ৰ্চে যেতিয়া এইটো উইড্ৰ কৰাৰ কাৰণে কৈ দিলে, আমি আমাৰ অসম চৰকাৰৰ পৰাতো আমি উইড্ৰ কৰিলোঁ, তেওঁলোকে উইড্ৰ কৰা নাই। আমি নাগালেণ্ডৰ চৰকাৰৰ লগত আমি আলোচনা কৰিছোঁ, তেওঁলোকে উইড্ৰ কৰাৰ কাৰণে তেওঁলোকে আজি কৰিব কালি কৰিব তেনেকুৱা কৰি আছে, কিন্তু উইড্ৰ কৰা নাই। আজি আমি লাষ্ট তেওঁলোকক আমি এৰি দিছোঁ, আজিকালিৰ ভিতৰত তেওঁলোকে যদি উইড্ৰ নকৰে তেতিয়াহ'লে আমি বেলেগ ব্যৱস্থা ল'ম। তেওঁলোকে যদি কেম্প অকলে বহাই থাকিলে আমি বহিটো নাথাকিম, আমি এটা ব্যৱস্থা ল'ব লাগিব, গতিকে আমি তেনেকুৱা ব্যৱস্থা ল'ম।
The situation were a worse look after the Naga resident threatened the villages of 6-number Kalajan village in Marapani. The Nagaland counterpart has put up demarcation pillars and asked the locals to move out immediately. Eyewitness to the threatening said that Naga residents claim that the area has been handed over to Nagaland. In 1985, the law and order situation in Marapani became volatile over the setting up of a veterinary check gate along Assam-Nagaland border. The situation led to the killing of 100 people by the Naga counterparts. About 56,327.06 hectares land alone in Merapani sector is encroached by the Nagaland village. Recently, one businessman, Bhuvan Ali of Merapani, was killed by the Naga residents, which has led to communal flare-up in both the states. News Desk, Frontier TV.
Well, now moving on to some Northeast news. At least 30 people were injured and one died in an open police firing in Tanagar. The situation has become very tense with band call in various parts of the state. The police had to resort to open firing as angry mob clashed at IG Park over holding referendum rally by the newly floated Nishi Consultative Committee. The influential All Nishi Student Union and Nishi Elite Society has urged to boycott the referendum rally.
The situation has become tense in Arunachal Pradesh with the death of one person and serious injuries to over 30 persons as police opened fire to defuse group clashes in Itanagar. The police resorted to open fire as two groups of the Nishi community clashed at IG Park, Itanagar over holding of a referendum rally to clarify the issue of a derogatory article which appeared in a national Delhi. The clash broke out after supporters of the Nishi Consultative Committee, a newly floated group belonging to the Nishi tribe, were prevented from holding a rally in Itanagar by members of the same community. About 200 people have gathered for the rally, and at the same time hundreds of people, mainly supporters of All Nishi Student Union and Nishi Elite Society. Police had to open fire to control the situation, which led to serious injuries to about 30 people. Most of the injuries occurred in the violent clashes and some in the police firing. The angry mob went on the rampage, burning vehicles in and around Itanagar. Around 25 vehicles were set ablaze and damaged. The protesters blockaded the city route and displayed undergarments as mark of protest. The clashes are believed to have political overtones, with demands for a change in leadership of Chief Minister Jabong Gamling increasing by the day. There are reports that the Nishi Consultative Committee was backed by Chief Minister to counter several such protests and moves by Gamling's detractors in the last few weeks. Meanwhile, the Arunachal Pradesh Indigenous Tribal Union has called for a 12-hour band in Arunachal Pradesh and demanded Chief Minister and Home Minister resignation from their posts on moral grounds for their alleged failure to handle the law and order situation in Arunachal Pradesh. The union also demanded that the state government to arrest the culprits and terminate those police personnel who were involved in the firing of school and college students at Rayong on October 5th. News Desk, Frontier TV.
And thus, trouble continues to brew in Arunachal Pradesh while moving down south. The apparent derogatory remarks made by 3 Telangana leaders has led to complaints against them being booked in the Saifabad police station on Tuesday. We have a report.
3 Telangana leaders, including Telangana Rashtra Committee Chief K. Chandrasekhar Rao, were on Tuesday booked for making provocative statements. Police have also booked Telangana Employees Joint Action Committee leader Swami Gaud and Vittal for stating that the police in Telangana would also gain the strike for separate state. A case was booked against the TRS chief at Saifabad police station for calling on Telangana people to attack houses of ministers and member of parliament who refused to resign to further the cause of a separate state. KCR, as the TRS chief is popularly known, has been booked under Section 153 of the Indian Penal Code. National Desk, Frontier TV.
And another news, making news at this hour, Pakistan claimed that Jammu and Kashmir has never been an integral part of India and has sought an UN-led plebiscite to determine the will of the Kashmiri people, evoking an angry rebuttal by India which termed the remark as unwarranted. Pakistan claimed that Jammu and Kashmir has never been an integral part of India and sought an UN-led plebiscite to determine the will of the Kashmiri people, evoking an angry rebuttal by India, which termed the remarks as unwarranted. Tahir Hussain Andrabi, the counselor at Pakistan's permanent mission to the UN, said during a debate at the General Assembly. He said, Jammu and Kashmir is neither an integral part of India, nor has it ever been so. Raising New Delhi's hackles, Pakistan's deputy permanent representative to the UN, Raja Bashir Tarar, said that in South Asia, the inalienable right to self-determination of the people of J&K had been recognized by a number of Security Council resolutions. Indeed, the UN decolonization agenda would be incomplete without resolution of the J&K dispute. Responding to the statement, Indian Representative R. Ravindra, First Secretary, said that reference made by the Pakistani official to Jammu and Kashmir is unwarranted and completely irrelevant to the work of this committee. He said, I would like to remind the distinguished representative of Pakistan that Jammu and Kashmir is an integral part of India. The Indian Constitution guarantees the fundamental rights to all its citizens. The people of Jammu and Kashmir have expressed their free will by participating in free and fair elections held at regular intervals. Andrabi said the Indian diplomat had made some untenable assertions in his response, adding that several Security Council resolutions have recognized Jammu and Kashmir as the disputed territory. The resolutions have pronounced that the final disposition of the state of J&K will be made in accordance with the will of the people, expressed through the democratic method of a free and impartial plebiscite conducted under the auspices of the UN. Andrabi added that the UN resolutions clearly state